changed positions here. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
You can't see us?
Well, that means his camera up there isn't working. Okay.
Was he going to take care of that
He had it.
PD or?
He was supposed to be putting it on in the PD, so maybe it'll come on. It might come on in a little bit. Jason was going to turn on from the PD.
Yeah. Okay, so is this everyone that is coming today, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you want to start? Get us all going?
Oh gosh, okay. This is all this pressure.
Wait a minute, let me get where is the certification posted? I can read that if you want me to.
Okay, perfect. Yep. So I will call to order the Tuesday, April 29th, Rome Town Center Committee meeting. We will go through, you have the call to, or we do that next. We'll go through and do roll call.
Dilge, Plan Commission.
Tiffany Sebecki, CDA.
Capital Plan Commission.
We will certify the posting of the meeting. Diana Dilge is going to read that.
Okay, this is from Taylor Ochinsky, who certifies that on Friday, April 25th, the agenda for the Rome Town Center Subcommittee meeting for Tuesday, April 29th is posted at the following locations: Rome Town Hall, 4:05 p.m., Quick Trip LLC, 4:31 p.m., Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, 4:45 p.m., posted on the Town of Rome website, 4/25/2025, and emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune on 4/25/25.
Okay. We do not have copies of the April 14th minutes
They were sent.
They were, yeah.
in email. I just looked over them. We'll make a call to approve the April 14th. Is this the current agenda? I'll learn this.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second.
A motion to approve by Bill Keppel and a second by Diana Dilke. Now, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Will pass. I got it. All right, we will open for citizen comments. There are no comments in the card box, and there are no citizens present, so we will skip by 5 and A. Now we will go to approve the minutes from the April 14th, 2025 RTC Subcommittee meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the April 14th, 2025 minutes.
And I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Will pass. Okay, item number 7, we will move forward with the report of the master planning activities and outcomes for the upcoming board presentation at the Thursday, May 1st, 2025 town board meeting. Thank you. I muddled through that like a champ. Tiffany.
There's 3 of us here.
We have Tiffany, Bella, and
Diana, Bill, and Tiffany.
Yes.
We have. Yep.
Well, I think page by page would
Yeah.
be good, you know, that we can take it.
Yep. Yep.
I fix it. That's awesome.
Say that again?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
I thought it was excellent. It hammers home that we're still working with the comprehensive plan and all the other plans that have been come before it.
Right.
So it's right on target. Yep. Yep, you do.
Yes, that's,
Nope, you've got everybody. Yep.
my thought is that they should be acknowledged, and within that special thanks that you've got down there, perhaps putting something acknowledging the gift that was given to the town of Rome. That's my thought.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't see any use in hiding it.
no, I think we
We've
should.
made that
Yeah,
pretty clear, I think. So
I agree.
What we heard, so there's a lot of information that is still the top of the page. The things on the right is that the video preference for the results. But what's new is the left everything. The big ideas. I try to just go on notes, and again, there's a preference survey for the stakeholder sessions. Another conversation with these town residents, and like 5 big companies. They were existing businesses versus one of those. They're already there. They want to stay there and then they appreciate them. So how can we support them in the summer and in the winter, year round? Harness existing open spaces. There's been a lot of recent investment made in the town center park. There's also been private investment, right? There are apartments, there are residential units for the town center for the first time. And there are the brewery has opened up. There's investment economy happening. Outside of the but Fort Leonard wants to harness these existing open spaces. Create connections within the town center, and connections to the town center. Not one or the other. Foster a mixed-use center. Create a variety of uses, similar to many of the small local towns and older neighborhoods of many Wisconsin towns. Finally, provide a range of housing options. There's significant demand in the town, especially beyond your standard larger single-family home. So those are 5 of the big kind of takeaways from listening and understanding the market.
I agree that that is what we heard. I can't think of really anything in addition to that.
You forgot a rooftop bar and what is needed.
Come on, Patrick.
How could you forget that?
You know, on that note, just so you know, I did contact, I was talking to Leslie over at Open Arc. Their insurance company said, no way.
Really?
Liability. Liability. Just for future reference.
Yeah.
It's a big insurance ticket item.
Pardon me, Patrick?
For a rooftop bar, the insurance would have been astronomical for them. Because they're expanding right now, and they were considering on the top of their storage building to add something, and the insurance company just went bananas. Said, no, don't do it.
Yeah, I believe that. I guess, as far as you see downtown Nashville and other places like that, just makes sense, right? If they can afford to use liability.
Right,
Yeah.
a small place like that is not going to be able to absorb it.
Well, unless we're really
So
super
one of the apartment buildings is going to have to have a rooftop bar. Right next to the swimming pool.
Oh, well, there were people that were interested in the community center, too, in our listening sessions. Wasn't there? And where would that fit into the 5 that you've got?
Here's community center listed as number 2 under what is needed.
Okay, what is needed? I guess it's not
Yeah,
one of the big
it's-
ideas. Yeah. I see it now.
Yeah, we use this on this page, so it isn't
Right.
Right.
the town center, this is, you know what this is. I did clean this up to show just what this is. I wanted to make sure this was the right word choice. Plan in the long term extension, if it's funded.
I think planned is sufficient. Or, well, I guess,
So that they know that it's already in the works and
Yeah.
it has been funded.
yeah, and then that way if we ever wanted to have something that maybe is planned, so this is maybe what's next, we just don't have funding, that we could have that difference in there. It might be better to change just that wording there to funded.
What about expected completion date or something to that effect? When was I supposed to be done? When is Timberline?
It's this year.
This year?
I don't remember when they said they were starting it.
So if we were to expected a completion date end of 2025,
Yeah.
would that be? I think that would let them know that it's planned, in the works, and it's expected to be completed. If we were to do something like that.
I think it's a good idea. I just want to impress upon people that this is more than just plan, it's underway.
Right.
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 Yeah, maybe just I'll put that in there. Expectation date and date and those things, but we don't continue to say how that's actually good.
Okay.
And again, these 22 businesses here, please just make sure I have these right. I did try to around before we did try to catch some of these and look at Google and cross references and Google devices, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, the 25-year vision. It doesn't change too much, maybe small. A few more changes on the back of the website. Number one, I took away a few of which is buildings with buildings that you don't have to work before.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
The second thing I did is I included from the 2016 comp plan, this trail extension in the northwest corner of the district. I wanted to clearly show that and indicate where it came from as part of a reduced planning effort. I've shown a trail connection through brewery property on Fort West. Leslie had it.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. So I got that and shown it private property. So those are kind of the high level changes. And the narrative here is really trying to make a case for what reimagined business like in the future. You reference the range of housing types, that's what we discussed previously. So not a symbiotic relationship between businesses and housing. Without parking, that's integrated. Somewhat discreetly throughout the plan, it's one parking managed on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And access to open space, which can still help their community.
I like the changes. I think taking away some of those apartments out of the top north area there is effective. And it shows that you responded to some of the issues. And I think it doesn't hurt to really emphasize the fact that you included off-street parking as requested by the public, because that was one of the main things that people were hammering on. Again, it shows your responsiveness to the public comments that we were receiving.
And then that's going to stick around. So this is the only change.
Yep.
This is just still a middle that was this building right here in the foreground.
Yep.
Still right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little, we also checked out, there's one or two through stories, I think it's important to know that even this line of through stories, it's likely to happen in a few places. But a few of these buildings have been taken down as in response to what we have to. So,
Mm-hmm.
As an off thingy, I was in Lake Geneva this past weekend, and I was being very aware of the sizes of the buildings and the stories, and they did have a couple of 3-story buildings, but the rest of them were all 2-story, and when I looked at the 3-story, it really did make a difference to me as far as the height of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they did have a couple. It wasn't like it was what we had before, where it was a lot of 3 stories. But I think just doing the 2-story and with a few 3 stories is
Yeah,
acceptable.
in order to get the dense housing.
Right.
we were balanced density, we also want to balance.
Right?
Right. No. Looks good. Yep. Right. Well,
Trails are open space. So this is kind of a new layer, really so it really just talks about how to go all the way from north, south, east, west. It talks about stormwater and why you have extremely well-draining soil. If there is a need for stormwater, these are the areas in which you need to go. So acknowledging that. One of the forests that they provide biking, walking, and jogging networks in the summer, and then in the winter they could be cross-country ski trails or snowmobile. I added snowmobile. Do you think that's too far?
no. And I think showing the green space the way you have it now, because that was a concern of some people I spoke with at the brewery. You know, this is up north. This is trees and green spaces, but having it differentiated the way you have here, I think, just brings it all to.
Stands out.
It stands out, and it shows people how much green space there would be.
And it shows the connection on both
Right.
directions.
Right. And I think this would pacify a lot of those people that were concerned about where are all the trees going to be, you know.
We acknowledge that too, that how many people into a certain summer and you avoid ski events and doing business.
Right. Yep.
Sequencing. This one, there's no overly close. So please give this one close read. Because it's not so much about recording actions that we want to see those future projects. It's more about how to take one step leading to the next and the next. So it's trying to tell you where is it important to start
Mm-hmm.
and what are the red flags that we see. So that's why sequences 1 through 7 are listed as intermediate term, near term, midterm, and then
Future. Yep.
the point is essentially that you're going to work on the clock that gets down and around.
Mm-hmm.
That South Equivalent Parkway is probably one of the last things that we
Yep.
And you do need to go on some of the housing on the northern half of these 40 facilities, just by way of generating tax revenue for something like that.
I like it.
Again, sequence 2, these ones are, we've done the streets needed so that there might be intel opportunities around the town schools that makes sense to build the road and what it is.
No, I like the sequencing, the way you have it set up. It brings the picture together. And it gives us some direction.
And also pointing out that number one, where the sequence number 1 is the most visible area, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, that people will actually be able to see how the development is going to take place. And this will mirror some of the pictures that we had, or that one poster that we had with regard to that street view of the housing, because I think number 1 is almost right, very close to that poster.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is. Mixture.
So that pulls it back into the implementation. A couple of points here. This is broken up into first the high level summary about next steps and then the high projects and then where it is. It has places where we have the subcommittee continues to work, so I'll put up for it. These are not competing with other projects in the town.
Yes.
So we were proposed at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not conflict. We're trying to get that clear.
Yes.
Right.
So the first one, which can be done almost overnight, I mean truly, we're going to do something overnight. This will be almost there. Swimming snowpass for one way, and then the other parking on the north, complement
I got a question on that one. Just, is it, when you do angle parking, do you normally have them so you're pulling in to the right? Is that why you're on the north side of the road? Or, yeah, north side of the road?
Yeah, no, actually, that's,
And the reason I'm asking is because you lose 2 spaces to the driveway.
those two spaces come out from the driveway, it's the less access. So the reason they're on the north side is I'm thinking of a developer and thinking, like someone in commercial real estate. I want the closest distance between your car door and the cash register.
Okay,
Because this is the
gotcha. Yep,
I don't want to do that.
that answers my question. That's fine. Nope, that's good.
That was pretty straightforward. It's a quick win. I want somebody to do quick wins. That's a quick win. Number 2, very important, I spoke to you, I do a formal recommendation about converting it to a single district, which is consistent with 2024 recommendations as well. So it's just another justification for that. And I can talk about it too, that push the back of the but you're going to do this more development will come. So it's probably best to get back to the start of it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, we recently talked about RFP. That's the one we talked about before. It's a 4-acre area. We discussed because of its visibility, because it's already on the existing street. And it's small enough that you could get local developers, some of which I've met at the open house there. If you do a 10-acre site, then you kind of rule out the local and regional, the builders, developers that you want to attract and keep it local. So it's small enough where you can do that. But it's also big enough that you can demonstrate. This is really a revenue for the next phase, 3, 4, 5 phases of development. You want to show people what you want, and you just want to kind of appease everyone and make sure that, hey, this can happen, and it's just a small, bite-sized neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 and 5 really go together. I do want to acknowledge that are different. There may be one initiative and really 2 parts of the same initiative. The first one is working with the city to provide access and private entertainment. So you can really clearly see where the traffic lanes are and how there's a boulevard on 13 and where the turn movements are. This is the longest description, but I think it's important to remember that while this whole document is geared towards every person, the town board, and all sorts of folks reading it, for a couple of paragraphs here, I'm really speaking to the Department of Transportation. These are the environmentalists about intersection spacing, about review sequence of conflict, turning movements. It gets a little technical and,
Mm-hmm.
it's not all concrete, but it's about the form of manifestation. And the third one is just extending the score. That's working with the bank there. So whatever is in bank, just acknowledging those conversations. I've already started. And moving forward with that. So maybe 45 minutes from that. Any questions on
No, I like them. And it really helps us get some sense of direction for the future.
any highlight, anything highlight also? Something that you want to do, but
Well, we know you already responded to the keep it short and sweet, so
Do you have do you think that 10 to 15 minutes is enough time for you to do all of this? Okay.
I was trying to get into their obviously they can do it, keep it shorter. But I think it's doable. I was working on it yesterday. I didn't do it for me. I was in the process of going back to doing that, so I think it's shorter. So we can do it whatever needs to be done.
Do you want to do it right now?
Sure.
wouldn't mind hearing it.
Chairman, I just, before I go on that, I just want to acknowledge that, if you do want to read it through, I apologize for the short turnaround, but I know you push this meeting back a few days. If you give it a read through today, tomorrow morning, just advise me on that, and what things you might see.
Okay.
Standard meetings or anything like that, let me know.
Now, then you will be making some changes to it. And then when would we be provided that? Because I think we'll have to have copies for the board, for their packet.
Or we just get that to Taylor and she prints it off, or do we have to print that off and give it to them?
Either that, or you could give this as the packet copy and just acknowledge that there were a few changes to the discussions with the subcommittee. You can give them this packet. This is the packet one, because then they have it today and it can go out with the packet. Or it can get. Did the packet get posted already with the agenda?
Yes.
Then what they could do is, if you're comfortable, Patrick, we could ask that someone put a copy of this in their mailboxes and let them know that it's there. See if they want to look at it in advance of your presentation. And then all you'd have to do is acknowledge that there might be one or two changes. Or you can just give it to them that night and they can follow along. Whichever you would prefer. Those are the two options that we have.
Well, I think, I'm not fully answer your question, but
That's okay.
if and I agree with this, because we're not be open, but if you could have your comments back tomorrow morning, I think it's easy to make that tomorrow. So that by Wednesday morning, they're ready to go. It would be complete. I'm always, what I'm nervous about is, even if this was a 95% draft, what I'm nervous is, I think it's the draft, and they might be not significant changes, like nothing over 2 stories, or they might come in really a one-dimensional fit, but I'm nervous at that point saying, it's not final.
Okay.
All right. Yes.
So what we would do is hand it out that evening at their desks. Because nobody's going to come in during the day and pick it up in order to get it before the evening session.
So then one of us will have to get the copies made on Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, you want me to do that? I can ask Taylor before I leave if she'll make herself available to me Thursday.
She's not here today.
That's why Wendy was. I'll talk to Wendy.
Okay.
Because if they make the copies, all I got to do is put them in the mailboxes. That's not a big issue. Or I think we should just place them on the desktop when they come in.
I think so too. They usually come in a little bit earlier.
Right. And Wendy, if she'll make the copies or someone will make the copies, they can place them on the desktop.
I am anticipating that the meeting will be in the big room.
Whatever it is, just ask them to have it available for their desktops.
Okay.
I'll get that done, one or the other.
Okay. No.
How much editing do you want? Like grammatically? Okay. Okay. I only found one grammar error. I'm just that person.
Okay, so we are to get our comments back tomorrow, no later than tomorrow morning. Really?
I'll be doing mine at 3 because I have craziness all day tomorrow, and so I have the 30 minutes in which I'm sitting in school pickup line. So I'll do it today. That is my 30 minutes of work time. Yeah. I think you're right there. Yeah.
So now, also on Thursday night, are you doing is there going to be like a Zoom thing with Patrick? And
I believe so.
just like what we're doing now? And then you'll show the page by page? Well, you're going to give us your demonstration, so we'll just sit back and relax and enjoy.
Yeah, do you want me to send a Zoom link or is that I'm not going to get that.
What's that?
The Zoom link, would the town do that, or would...
I have no idea.
Let me find out real quick. I'll just find out real quick, I hope.
That I don't know.
Although,
Sorry.
Jason is over at the PD.
Oh, that's who you should. That's who. Well, you can ask. You
Maybe
can ask.
Wendy would know.
I don't know. One other question I was sending waiting for Diana to come back. Do you want the gentleman from Paramount to come and make a statement, or should we just let it go? He's willing to do it. I was in contact with him this morning and said if, I want him to feel comfortable. I sent him the agenda for the board meeting, so he knows about when it would happen. And I said I could meet with him either Thursday afternoon before the meeting and just hear what he was going to say, if he wanted me to. And I said, well, I'm really just looking for you to show support for the plan. That's the gist of what I had, yeah.
If you could send a Zoom link, you have it going to Taylor right now, so that would be fine. And then they'll get everything set up and ready. Okay.
Do they think it's going to be in the weekend?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And we are number 11 on the town board agenda, which means that what they're going to be going through would be relatively quick. I would say the meeting starts at 5, and we would probably be going at 5:20, maybe?
Yeah.
If you wanted to kick in, I don't know, maybe like 5 if you want to kick in and sit around for 20 minutes, or at 10 after 5. But 5:15 at the absolute latest.
I would probably log in for 55, especially if there's no weird things going on the camera.
Okay. Okay.
And I would probably turn off my sound if the camera was on.
Okay.
And what I'm going to have is, once the discussion around the counselor is over, I would just leave the meeting.
Yes.
The main items before were information updates, the discussion on notes, and then there's a general promissory note that's going through. And I don't think that's going to be controversial.
No.
So things could go rather quickly. Unless there's some citizen comments which we can't anticipate.
I think 5 to 5 is good.
Yeah. It's that first part should go really, really rapidly.
Are they normally at 5 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why, but I had 5:30 written down. That's a good thing you said that.
You would have missed half the presentation.
I'm running like 7 days a week right now with these dang kids in sports. I can't keep up right now.
All right. Okay.
This is presentation mostly, not just on jobs, we're trying to clean it up, quicker this up, and one make it shorter. So it's easier to make it longer, so it's harder to make it shorter. So I'm not going to go through the report itself, what happened, as you mentioned, but this is a synopsis of your report. It just takes that, I can quickly get into census stats bear that out. But within the 2016 comp plan, the only land use goal was to maintain orderly planned growth that promotes the health, safety, and general welfare of residents and makes efficient use of land and efficient use of public services, facilities, and tax dollars. So, in keeping with that land use goal, we want our growth to be responsible and mixed use and compact and walkable way that is respectful to both current and future residents of the town. And finally, this is a 25-year vision. It's not going to happen overnight, over the next 2 years, or even the next 10 years. And it's about outlining where streets, parks, park development, and amenities for community government will take place. It is not an engineering task for water, solar, sewer, natural gas, and other capabilities such as that. That is a separate undertaking that needs to be done throughout the development of the town center to make sure the utilities and the big stuff at the demand of the capacity. The process, you guys know what this is, but first we always start by listening. We listen to the residents, the business owners, the local leaders, who are the experts in their own town. We review the 2016 comp plan, a few of the other plans there. And then we met with individual stakeholder groups, business owners, town departments, and others to address what their specific concerns were, what their issues were with the long-term growth, and what they wanted their community to look like. And we hosted an open house February 19th, where we tried to use the whole range of the tools available to us, visual preference surveys, asking people about their strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities at the town center, and collecting ideas for what the position would look like. And then the next step, explore all this information, try to distill it into a single draft master plan with renderings. We showcase that to the public at the during April 10th, kind of feedback there, and that is what has led to step 3, implementation, and the report itself. At the end of this, we have 5 next steps, implementation ideas to follow through with. So the big ideas, this is what we heard. This is distilling down all that community engagement into 5 bigger points. There was a lot more that was said than is on this slide, but just really distill it down and get their action steps. First, residents love the businesses that are in the town center. We want to keep supporting the existing businesses, so how can we do that? Not only in the center, but also in the near future. Let's harness existing open spaces, recent investments into the demand shell, the road down Center Park, compare those kinds of areas that are well received. The development should really build off of these great assets that the town is
Your slides aren't going on our. Okay. Yep. Now they are.
Big ideas, great connections to the road town center and within the town center. People want to be able to walk, bike, and use other forms of transportation to get around. Foster care mixed-use center is planning for a variety of uses. So as many of the small towns you've seen in other parts of Wisconsin, they're kind of older towns where you have shops and a range of housing options at homes and walkable area. Finally, providing range of housing options. There's significant demand in the town, especially when people are single-family home. These will continue to be larger segments of the market, so we should incorporate this range of housing types about now as we grow. 25-year vision. The master plan is really focused on 2 major green ribbons that run north-south, east-west of the project. It's imagined to be a vibrant mixed-use neighborhood with a whole range of housing options. We asked people what kind of housing options they wanted to see. There was strong support for cottage courts, smaller apartment buildings, duplexes, things like that. Things that what we call middle housing, missing middle housing, things between larger buildings and single-family homes. So we wanted to incorporate these different kinds of housing. Parking lots. Parking was an issue that came up quite a bit, so we wanted to address that by including small publicly owned parking lots scattered throughout town center near the kind of commercial nodes, as well as every street would have on-street parking throughout. And then the parks are open spaces, as I mentioned, there's been more would see them, would bike and walk the trails that connect all and link all these things together. And of course, there was strong demand to see support the community center. So at the intersection of these two green buildings, we should have a community center. These are a few just the images. First one is an aerial view looking along one of those green ribbons. This is west looking east toward the existing Henderson Park. You can see single family homes. Again, most of them are 1 or 2 stories, with a few 3-story buildings scattered throughout the zone in our zone. Just a mix of building types and uses, all anchored on these agreements. This would be a view of that house building that's headed to Highway 13. Commercial uses, stuff. And then finally, residential, typical residential streets, where you can see the cottage, for example, in the street there, single family homes, townhouses, all in the same street. So these are the 5 next steps that would really help move the plan forward. So the first step is a quick and cost-effective length. This can really be done overnight. It would increase the amount of on-street parking along the side of the almost the amount of parking along the side of the So it would be converting it to a one-way street. So kind of moving westbound to the opposite farmers path. This would help the circulation around the square, help the farmers market is, increase the amount of parking for businesses. Create a one-way code for the downtown center. So under current zoning, you would not be able to build these buildings. The first thing is to do the zoning. If you're in a single district, which is recommended on the 2024 plan as well, which is create a cohesive neighborhood. So we recommend a form-based code, which is really just a fancy way of saying a zoning code that is a little more practically oriented, and it's focused on building heights, setbacks, where parking goes, and a little bit less on uses and density. And we found that this is a lot better at predicting development patterns. It's a lot more, it's better describing what it will look like in the future. The next one, release the first development RFP. So the first RFP that goes out to developers and builders is really critical because it really sets the tone for the future phases of development. So we can pick one that's small enough, that's manageable, and can provide a good case study. It also wants to be big enough to demonstrate some major housing types. So we picked out a small 4 acres type here. So those 3 already connected to Geneva Shore, just like the Geneva Apartments. As I said, 4 acres, we contain cottage courts, single-family homes, and small walk-up apartments. Now, as part of the development agreement, the developer will be financially responsible for putting the infrastructure, the streets, the utilities in the ground, and then after X number of years, after a certain period of time, the town will maintain those. So it's financially responsible because the town and its residents therefore don't bear any of the costs of it. The developer does. So as we develop, the town will have to look for those expenses. If it is developed, the developer will pay for that enhanced infrastructure for development, and over time we make sure that over time. It's a very common way of doing development. So it's the right size of the first case study. This last thing, work with the state, which is this one here, provide access to Highway 13. This will improve access for businesses. As of 2008, there were 5,000 cars a day coming up and down Highway 13. So it's really critical to capture some of that traffic. Even though this is a lot more than to capture some of that traffic and get it into the town square. The preferred routes to get to this town square, the town center park, is a bit weaving into it. And underground routes, that's a little harder to find. So this will open it up to the mix. This is probably one of the most important recommendations of the whole plan. It will also increase parking at the town square. And one of my favorite points here, in tandem with number 4, continue conversations with 3 support of the state bank to look at their property. value, higher value for properties. And they could be given another town parcels, smaller town parcels, equal value for this taken. So these conversations are ongoing. We've been listed a lot of names for the town of them. So that was my first attempt at it. I think I probably should have been a little bit. It's a lot, just a lot of things. What do we have?
I have you at 13 minutes. So that's good.
Yeah, that's,
And it's good. I think you touch on every point, except that this project will not interfere with any, okay, and I think that is also critical. And I also like your point that over the next 25 years, we will have gone through possibly 12 or 13 different town boards. And I don't know how you might want to weave
I'm
that
not sure
in.
I want to go there.
You don't want to go there?
Well,
Well, I guess not. We don't want to do that.
I don't think you want to do that.
But that it won't interfere with other things, and the town can begin this project and not harm any other projects that, or not harm.
Right.
You know what to say.
Yeah,
Patrick.
yeah, I think that comment is, I think Diana's got a valid point. You need to get that comment in.
Yeah.
Because that was their concern voiced to you, water. And it's not mutually exclusive. The other thing, when you do a development and the developer pays for the infrastructure, what's the actual turnover time frame? Is there like between 5 and 10 years, between 10 and 20 years? How does that work?
Yeah, it's difficult to know the exact number, but 5 and 10 years will happen in 20 or 25.
Okay.
You probably have some experience with that too.
Well, not really. That's why I'm asking. I have a lot of development. I worked in places where there were always sewers. So,
Well, what's the project was that quote because this project uses the same process.
That's the subdivision behind.
Oh.
What is it? 13.
Yeah, 13th. Yep. They're. So I guess.
Did they put in their own, like the gas? Is there natural gas back in there?
Yeah, there's.
So did the developer do all of that?
Yeah,
Or
the developer had to do all of that. They had to bring
did the
in.
roads
the
and everything.
fiber
Yeah.
optics and everything for the
Yeah.
internet?
and is the town taking the roads over?
The
at some
town
point
did.
now?
Yep. They took it over 13th, and then after the developers finished that, and then once the other roads are completed, the town will take those over.
Okay.
So yeah, that was part of their
So they're
things that
beating,
they had to do.
making them to town specs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason I asked about that is because it's more powerful if you can just say, no, it's just like we were doing.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for is if somebody does bring up the cost of infrastructure, we want to be able to indicate that it's not the first development that's happened that
Is
way.
that something that we would want to address in this presentation? No?
No, I just want to be ready for it.
Yeah, if somebody brings it up. Yeah.
I am going to correct the point about being financially responsible.
Oh, yeah.
Because the developer bears the cost of that, the taxpayer in the town.
Right.
But is there a name for the
I don't think that street has been named yet.
I found this on the web. Or is there a name?
Thanks, Siri. I'm surprised mine wasn't going off. I could drive over there, but I don't, actually, let me pull up some of my documents. I might have that answer for you if it's on some of their stuff, but they might not have given that an actual name at some point yet. Not yet. Not anything that I had, but let me find it and double check.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be, a lot of people don't even know what's happening back there.
13th Avenue, not Highway 13th Avenue.
Yeah, because if there's a road, I don't think anybody back there would even know what it was called, if they named it, and I don't know that they have yet. So, I think I would just reference the residential project going on behind, or west of 13th Ave, and people would probably recognize that better.
Okay.
That's a great, I mean, that's,
Yeah, it's been, you know, that's,
I like, I'm gonna keep up with the presentation a little bit.
Okay. And then we will get our notes to you by no later than noon tomorrow. And then you will make those changes with the ones that we discussed with regard to thanking Sand Valley also. And then we will make sure that all of the supervisors have copies.
yeah, once you send us the final, I'll
We'll
make
make
sure
sure
I
everyone
get
gets
over
a
here and have
copy.
copies made.
And then you'll log in at 5 minutes to 5. You'll send the Zoom invite to Taylor. Is that it?
I think that's all I have down.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay, and you should expect, so my goal was to have to read Dr. Carafin as well. I see you're figuring it now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No, I think it looks great, Patrick. It's really very, very nice.
I have
And I like
nothing
the
on my agenda
presentation too.
for Thursday, so get over here. I'll be over here early Thursday morning when we get something done.
Okay.
Or I'll talk to Wendy and see if I can just electronically over it. I'll see what I can do.
If you do, my concern with that is that it will be handed out before we want it to be.
Okay.
That's my concern.
Well, if you want me, I mean, I can print them at home too. It's not that inconvenient. It's not that big a document. If you'd rather that and just bring them in that evening.
Personally, I would feel more comfortable with that.
Would you?
I
Well,
don't know
that's
how
fine.
you feel
Then
about
I'll do it that way. That's fine. That's fine. But I'll come in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
That's fine.
Okay.
Most of them aren't going to look at it until Patrick's making his presentation anyway. Or if they come 5 minutes early, they might page through it.
Your discretion, whatever you want to do.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So, any questions for us?
I just really appreciate it. I mean, that was back, but I meant it. I just really appreciate everything you've done, all your effort to make this be successful. For the stakeholders, for arranging the brewery, for all sorts of things. So, I need a great tour, some great business in the valley, so I'm just really really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Find an insurance provider that will
Yeah.
rip your face off. All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Super.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Patrick.
See if you can pick us out of the crowd, Patrick.
All right.
Good night. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
All right.
So I had on my notes to ask Taylor for this agenda layout, and then I can do those.
This is what Lori sent to me.
Okay.
This is an agenda layout where you have to do the date, and time.
Okay.
And then
I was
you
hoping
just-
they would have an electronic version of it, so then I can just copy and paste.
Well, it's on, Lori sent that to us.
Does she? Oh, then I probably have it in my folder.
Yeah. So it's like an actual form. You could probably just,
Okay.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure what she does is just go in and make changes.
Yeah.
you know,
Keeps that as a template.
that's her template, yeah. And then she just makes the changes and prints it out. I can't remember when she sent that after our last meeting, along with the March.
Wasn't part of the packet that everyone got. Was it?
Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent everybody the minutes and
Yeah, yeah.
it was with
It was
that.
part of that?
It was part of
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
I know you know.
I've been having an issue with my setup in my email, and we've tried to fix it, and I don't know what it is, but it's grouping everything into, like, if this person does a separate email, and then this person does a separate email, it still threads them together, even though this person and this person emails didn't go to each other, because they were doing reply singly or whatever. So then, if I go to hit delete on one of the emails, it's deleting all of these. So I keep losing stuff. And we cannot figure out why it's doing that. There's nothing that makes sense as to why it's all of a sudden doing that and why it's doing it. I hate technology.
I don't either one or hate it.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was a part of it, you know.
Well, that's where I am.
I've got the master planning list, the housing ready city PDF, master land use controls, master plan stages,
I should.
master plan land use and.
No,
RTC
she sent another one after that.
Not to me. She maybe just sent it to you. Wait, what's this? No, that's still, that's all. No, that's all I got from her.
Yeah, you have the planning list, master land use,
That's the last thing she sent.
sign plan. Yeah, she has this one kind of attached here, but it's not like a blank.
Here, she sent that to everyone on April 15th.
15th?
Yep. She sent it to Jason, Robbie, Wendy, Taylor.
You'll see it, the one that I references that she sent on the 16th to me.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Okay. From me. That's what she told her, but apparently she sent it to me, Jason, Robbie, Wendy, Taylor.
Okay.
So, I can send you the agenda.
Sure. Yeah, she has that.
Yeah, I'll send it, what I got home on my other,
Okay.
I have her plans and,
I prefer.
yeah, I gotta use my laptop.
Back to that. Okay, then, so we have that. So then next steps, we need to, after this Thursday, we're gonna need to involve Sam again, work on that form-based code, figure out funding. So obviously, if we want to push anything back towards the home board, we're gonna need another item on the agenda for that. So probably meet first after this Thursday, and see how that goes.
Do you wanna set another meeting?
Yeah.
And but I don't know at what point that contract is up or, see, that's what I have no knowledge of any of that.
So I should have his contact information yet, or something, maybe. Sam about,
Well, I have it, I can send it to you.
okay, yeah,
Patrick's contract ends with his presentation, I assume.
Well, that's the end of the,
That's
yeah,
that's the end of the
first
gift.
contract.
That's the end of the gift. If we want a contract with him, we need to get the town board.
That's what we need to find out, where we're at financially.
Okay, so you want to send Sam's info to Taylor. And I'll send you that template on the,
perfect.
and I'm gonna send you the minutes. Apparently you don't have the minutes from the last week meeting.
Yeah,
I think that was Patrick.
was that in the one that Patrick sent?
Yeah, it came out with the agenda. Or did, no, I think, what's her name sent that? Taylor sent it.
No, you're Taylor.
Taylor sent it on Friday.
Okay, so you have those, okay.
Oh, yep. They're in a little box in the corner. Okay.
All right, so I'll get the that to you and Sam's info.
Okay, so when do we want to meet again?
All right. And what's going to be on the agenda?
I think reviewing any feedback received from the board meeting.
If any.
And then discussing
And
next steps.
Discuss and implement.
you can put it that way, we may not reach that
Right.
point, but if you
Yeah.
put it on there, then we could go forward.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
should we ask or find out between now and the next meeting just what we have in our basket that we can utilize from the town board to pay for these things, or what we're gonna be doing?
Yeah. And is that, you had mentioned something about, you had asked Taylor about funding. So is that,
I can't remember who I asked.
okay,
It had to be Taylor, because she was the only one here. I think it was at the last meeting, right? Taylor said she thought she would get it. Well, she didn't stay for that meeting. She just kind of started them out.
Yeah. The only time I remember asking her about money in a coffer was at a plan commission meeting, I think. And she was gonna check on it. Now I can't remember just what that was involved with.
She's not technically involved with the planning department.
Right.
That's where the hitch comes in. So it would actually be either the town clerk or the finance department.
So Robbie,
I would think Robbie would be the one to go to
okay.
get a picture of what's budgeted, what has been spent, and what's left.
so when would that be done? After the board meeting or on Thursday or,
When are we gonna meet? Before the next meeting.
okay, before the next meeting? Okay, when's that gonna be? So what about the week of the 5th? Is that to keep it going and keep,
I know Wednesdays are always tough. Those are usually full office days. But
And I don't know Monday, Tuesday.
yeah, she's gone.
Well, she's gone all of this week.
Yeah. And I think she's back on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday afternoon. I think usually Mondays are pretty safe for her if she's not gone. So we could do Monday, Tuesday morning. Do we? Yeah. Do you have any conflicts either of those days?
Not until 4 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I can't do it before 9:30 on Monday.
Okay.
Monday might be hard for her because she will work on gone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Tuesday I'm working on all morning and tonight.
Okay.
I'm
So we
doing
should.
my own beer at North on Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, fun. Nice. Yeah, and I can do anything like up until noon.
On Tuesday?
Yeah. So do we want to do like a 10 a.m. on Tuesday? Or
I'm thinking, yeah, if we can get the room.
okay.
So, well, let me just double check. What 10 a.m. on Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's the 6th?
Yep.
Anyway, I wonder if you were sick at the last celebration. Oh, wow. And I saw the appointments for the committees are going to be at that meeting on Thursday, so
Okay.
we won't know until after that meeting is happening.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the chairs of that?
Okay, the room is reserved for the 6th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And the agenda should be sent to Taylor and to Wendy.
Wendy. Okay.
Just so that there's a double check and it's get posted.
It's item 12 on the agenda.
Okay.
Tuesday, just before solar.
Okay.
They're going to have us ask for top 3 choices and vote on assignments.
Okay.
Okay, so next meeting, 5/6/25 at 10 a.m. Okay, so other things on the agenda is that, what about the form-based? I guess, should we put on here something like,
Discussion and possible implementation of form-based zoning. Is that
we don't want Sam involved at that point, because we're gonna have to find out. Well, we have next steps, that's all 5 of them that you've got on there.
Okay.
So, the next steps, and that was one of them, it was snow pass,
Yeah.
the form-based and the other things.
Yeah.
You can
Just leave it in as the next steps.
just under next steps.
Yeah, because it is the next step.
But I'm wondering, because here are the form-based. Maybe everyone should be familiar familiarize themselves a little bit with, of course, if you don't have the direction from Sam, it's really hard to look at this stuff, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it
He can give us direction on,
yeah, I think he's going to be critical in then getting him involved for that.
okay. And is that,
Okay. And then when I do up the notes on here, who do I send that to Taylor and Wendy as well?
what?
Like when we do,
I'm secretary, so I will
Oh,
take care
okay.
of all of the minutes that we did today.
okay,
And I can send those,
We do them as a draft. We can send them
Right.
out to the committee members.
right,
Okay.
because then you'll
The
approve it
agenda,
at the
you
next
should
meeting.
send
Okay.
to Wendy.
Wendy and Taylor for the next one.
Right,
Or did they tell you to send it to Taylor?
Taylor and Wendy.
Okay, well, because, yeah, Wendy's the town board, so she's responsible for getting the board's agenda together. Or any others, technically. She delegates that to Taylor, that's up to her. She's the person responsible for the agendas. Just something to file away.
Okay, so, is that everything then?
I think so. Well, all right. Number 8 is done.
So then,
We scheduled number 9, scheduled this
Make a note on my calendar by Thursday morning.
meeting date and time.
I'll talk to Wendy and let her know I'm coming over.
And then you're going to speak to Doug and
I
see.
will talk to Doug.
Okay.
He sent me an email while we were talking about it. He's busy, but I should give him a call.
Okay. Okay.
He may
Then,
or may not want to follow through. We'll see. I'm not going to push him.
no,
We're not coming.
no, that's fine.
okay. Then we will move to adjourn the meeting at 2:20